Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel KL Low. Today I'm going to be sharing 5 tips for new writers that I found really helpful when I started researching and writing my book a few months ago. There's a lot of information out there, so I've watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos, read a ton of how-tos, and narrowed everything down to these 5 tips that I want to pass on in hopes that they will help fellow new writers. Tip number 1 is read a lot. All writers are readers, and your writing should not get in the way of you setting aside some time to read. Definitely read books that are similar to what you want to write about, but also don't limit yourself to these, and I would read a whole range of different books, and as you're reading them, take note of the things that you like and don't like, and then you can incorporate that into your own writing. Try and identify how the author of a book you're reading draws you into the characters, their thoughts, their feelings, the environment, the story. How do they move that plot along? Take note of these things, because I know that we read to escape, but as new writers, we need to learn. So sometimes you want to treat reading almost as if you're studying. Tip number 2 is take a writing course. Not everyone will do this, and that is okay, but for me, I found it really helped. And a writing course can be anything from an online class, an in-person class, or even a recorded lecture series on YouTube. As I was starting the research work for my book, I actually signed up to Masterclass and watched all of the creative writing lectures on there. All of the authors shared tips on how to research and how to structure your research that I took on board, which I found really helpful for myself. Then after signing up for Masterclass, I found out that Brandon Sanderson posted all of his college lectures on YouTube, so I watched all of those and they were unbelievably helpful and free, so I will link those below and I definitely recommend checking those out. The fact that he filmed an entire semester of college classes and posted them for free on YouTube is pretty awesome. I learned a lot from those, especially with how to make a character more complex. I found that taking all of these classes, free lectures, were really helpful because they showed me that there is more than one way to write a book. And they gave me the confidence to take what I'd learnt and start writing my book. Tip number 3 is do not be afraid to edit as you go. This tip might be a bit controversial as I see so many people advising against this, but when I took James Patterson's masterclass, he shared that he actually will write for a day, finish, then the next day he will go over what he wrote the day before, do a quick edit, and then carry on. And I found personally this really works for me. Keeps the story fresh in my mind, I'm happier with what I have on the page, and it puts me in a really good headspace to carry on from where I left off. It also means I should have less to edit when I finish my book and go back and start the editing process. A lot of people don't do this as they prefer to get the book out before they go back and do any edits, and that is totally okay. At the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you, and this is something that definitely works for me and I feel better for it. Tip number 4 is join a writing group. Finding a group of like-minded people that you can share your ideas and your writing with will be invaluable as you write your book. It's a fantastic way to make connections and learn from others who are there to support you. My writing group is actually super small, which I found is actually better than being in a group of, say, 50 plus people. Everyone has a chance to be heard, you get to know each other better, and it's less intimidating to share my work with a handful of people rather than a massive group of people. We brainstorm together, we share feedback on each other's writing. We also share resources and cheer each other on. Writing groups are usually free to join, and getting feedback from people you trust will make you a much better writer, and you get to do it in a safe space. And finally, tip number 5, remember why you love writing. If you're like me and your goal is to write a book within a certain time frame, you can end up putting a lot of pressure on yourself, and it's good to have something to work towards, but don't forget why you're doing this in the first place, and that is because you love to write. It can be overwhelming, so when that happens, take a step back, try something new. You can try journaling, you can write a chapter from a different point of view, you can write a short story on something totally different than what your book is about. Just have fun with it, and this can help you to reconnect with why you're writing and help you remember why you love it. I hope these 5 tips help you as much as they've helped me. If there are other tips you think new writers should know about, please do drop them in the comments. I would love to read them. And if you've enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please do like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!